Hi everyone, Joe Lignor here at St. Andrew's School, and tonight I'd like to read to you from one of Charles Dickens' lesser known books called A Tale of Two Seas. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away. No, I'm not reading to you from a book, but I do want to talk to you about two words that are so closely connected, they're almost intertwined. And they both begin with C, which makes it easier to talk about. So let's start with the first C. Who demonstrates the first C? A baby waking up in the middle of the night, screaming and crying until you rush in out of your sleep and you scoop the baby up and the baby stops crying. As soon as you put the baby down, the baby starts crying again, you scoop the baby up. Now the baby grows into a young child. And the young child, you take the video game from your child. The child begins to have a hissy fit. And they start screaming, "That's not fair! That's not fair!" Now your child has grown into a teenager. They think they're able to take the trolley and go to the mall with their friends on the trolley, rather than ride in the car and get dropped off by mom in front of their friends at the front door. They don't want to do that. You yourself, you're constantly overextended at work to the point where you have to bring work home in order to get it done. And then countries. Countries are constantly in search of this. They're willing to go to war with each other to gain over the other country. So what is this C word that everybody, child, parent, countries, what is the C word that everybody wants? That C word, pure and simple, is control. All of us, I mean all of us, are at our best when we are in total control. When everything's happening one right after the other, things are getting done, you're just on top of the world because you have everything under control. You feel better emotionally as a person. The child, your child, feels better emotionally as a person. A schoolmate, a friend, they are at their best when they are in control, no different than you. So what about when your child is seeking more control? Do you automatically nix that? Say, absolutely not. I'm the parent, you're the child, you do what I say, when I say to do it. I say jump, you say how high. We've all been there, done that. If you're a 1950s, 60s child, that's what you were used to. That's what my dad used to say. When I say jump, you say how high, Dad. It's not like that anymore. When your child is seeking more control, and you should really sit down and listen to them, talk to them. What do you think you want more control over? You want to ride out on the trolley with your friends rather than be dropped off? Tell me what that's going to look like. And your teenager tells you, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And then you can reply back to them, okay, if you do that, I think it should look like this. And then over the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you hammer out a resolution. Okay, I'll let you take the trolley if these things happen and you incorporate yours as well as a couple of his. Put it in a contract. For real. Put it in a contract. Sign and date the contract. Your teenagers sign it, you sign it. And then that's the way everything has to work. Is that right? There's one more thing. This is the other C word. What do you think the other C word is? The other C word is consequences. Everything your child does, no different than you, has a consequence. If they're doing things the right way, they get plenty of great consequences. Good things happen to them, and you want good things to happen to them. That helps them maintain that on top of the world feeling, helps them maintain control, keeps them focused and driving in the right direction. Don't just shut them down. Hear what they have to say. And you come back and tell them what you think. We can get this done, but we have to change a few things you told me. Hammer it out, put it in a contract, and then discuss what will be the consequences if you don't fulfill this contract. In the beginning, they're not going to be perfect. They're going to fall down. They're going to scrape their knees. Help them back up. Okay, first time, this is what happens. Second time, this is what happens. Third time, the hammer's coming down. We're going to have to make some major changes. That's what you want to be doing with your children. Give them more control. Help them grow as a person. They'll be better people. They'll be better students. They'll be better friends, better children for you. Give them more control. If they're wanting it, give it to them in increments. Whatever is plausible, whatever age they are, if they're small and they want an allowance, spell out what that allowance looks like. You have to do X, Y, and Z each week. Let them come back, hammer out the contract, discuss the consequences, everybody agree on everything, sign it, date it, and away you go. I'm such a firm believer in giving kids all they can handle at that particular time. I do it all the time in the classroom. I really did it at home with my own daughter. When I went to a CYO meeting once, at my first time here, my first 13 years here, I forget what year it was, but I listened to a father. The people at the CYO meeting were arguing about letting the kids do this and that. It was too dangerous, blah, 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 blah. And this father stood up and he said, you know what? We as parents spend so much time teaching lessons to our kids. And then we teach and teach and teach and teach, but we never ever let them get into a position where they have to use any of these lessons. We forbid them from doing this, we forbid them from doing that. Let's see what happens. We've been teaching all these years. Let's see what our kids can do. And that's what it is with control. Let your kids have a little control. Let them have a little bit their way, but within limits. Per contract, both sign, both live up to the contract. I think you'll see a much better child in school and at family. It'll be a great deal for everyone. Guys, I'm always willing to talk to you if you have something you don't understand, something you'd like to try. You can bounce it off me. Send me an email, jlignor@standrewschool.com. I'd be happy to talk with you. After school one day, meet me in the classroom. We can talk on the phone. Email your phone number. I'll call you up. We can talk. Whatever you need me to do, I'll help you with this. But don't shut the kids down if they're seeking a little control. They're growing up. It's time for them to take on more. But there's certain limits, and there will be certain consequences if it doesn't happen. Everything will go much smoother. Guys, have a great week. jlignor@standrewschool.com. Go Eagles. Phillies, go Phillies. See you guys.